right, now we have an update to a News Nation exclusive we first brought to you last week. The journey of a little girl just 4 years old found alone at our southern border. She's one of a surging number of unaccompanied minors crossing into the United States. In just the past week, Border Patrol and Texas authorities encountered more than 100 kids traveling alone. Many are barely older than toddlers, making this grueling trek carrying nothing but a piece of paper with an address or a phone number. This young girl from Honduras is one of them. News Nation spoke exclusively with her mother, who told us she paid smugglers to bring her 4-year-old daughter to America. Why would she take that risk? And why are so many doing that now?
So I've been speaking with the mother of that 4-year-old girl every day since her daughter was apprehended by Texas state troopers, and she's opening up more about the dangerous journey that she put her daughter through. As of yesterday, it marks 1 week that the little girl has been in U.S. immigration federal custody. She says she's still awaiting for U.S. Border Patrol to give her a call to find out when her daughter will be released. Texas DPS troopers also stopped a child trafficking incident. There was a 5-year-old girl from Mexico who was being smuggled across that Rio Grande. Texas state troopers were able to further investigate and stop that smuggling incident. What made that more shocking was when troopers did encounter that smuggler, it was in a traffic stop. The mother, you're seeing her right there in that blue shirt, the mother was actually with the smuggler. She admitted to authorities that she paid $8,000 to have her daughter smuggled from Mexico. So once again, Elizabeth, just kind of highlighting what Texas troopers are seeing here in Maverick County and Valverde, this huge surge of unaccompanied children.
Hello, everyone. Those are good questions. Why are they taking those risks and why now? But what I would like to know is how come our government punishes an American mother when she leaves her child alone for a moment?
Mom of 4 is about to get the shock of her life when she opens the door to her home.
Turn around for me.
Why?
Because you're under arrest.
She's perplexed.
What am I under arrest for?
For reckless endangerment.
Say what?
I was in a state of disbelief, really.
It turns out that unbeknownst to Brittany Patterson, her 10-year-old son had gone off on his own to a dollar store in town, about a mile away. Cops got involved when a passerby saw the boy and called them.
Last time I checked, it wasn't illegal for a kid to walk to the store.
So. It is when they're 10 years old.
It was humiliating, especially the part where I had to, strip down and get into jail clothes.
But when migrant mothers put their children through the border, they get rewarded. We've seen it before. I did a story on this where the mother got her children delivered to her door. It's pure insanity. But let's go back to the why. And that brings me to these two individuals, Venezuelan migrant Sophia and her bestie, Jocelyn. Yep, not Jocelyn, Jocelyn. Both of them came through the Darien Gap with children. And some of these kids have special needs. Upon entering the United States, they got pretty good accommodations to the point where all of their children seem to be doing well, which is a good thing. Nobody wants any innocent children to be hurt. But America is currently going broke with a national debt of over $36 trillion. And you would think that all of these migrants would appreciate the amount of money being spent on their accommodations. But that's not the case. And if you don't believe me, you can ask Sophia, who recently went on a live stream and insulted the housekeeping staff from her taxpayer-funded hotel room. But more on that in just a bit. Let me go back to the national debt, now over $36 trillion. And what does the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris administration do? They go ahead and send an additional $725 million in arms to Ukraine. Even though the people voted against them, the will of the people continues to get ignored. And then I get comments like this from user @slow3007, and I quote, "My wife and I make $16,100 a year on Social Security. We filled our car with gas for Thanksgiving. We ate peanut butter and jelly sandwich for Thanksgiving. Our Medicare cost $474 a month for both of us. After both of us working 39 years, this is how our government treats us. And yet our government doesn't have a problem in sending more money to other countries. This is just sad. Now, user at slow3007, I did reply to your comment and I mean it. Please reach out to me. My email is in the description of this video and on the screen. I would like to give you a small gift. No big deal. It's just a small gift. So please reach out to me. And if anybody in the comment section can help locate the user at slow3007, please do. I would greatly appreciate it. So back to the two wonderful migrants. You wouldn't believe how I came across these individuals. The devil's daughter gave them up. Yep. Suddenly the devil's daughter, who left her hotel accommodations in New York City with her tough guy husband, they did. You can see them right there. That's her with the luggage in the background. And here, this video's caption says, "Goodbye, New York." And right there, she's traveling. She left New York City. But before she did, she gave us some information on Sophia and Jocelyn. So thank you, Evelyn. Good job. Now she's working for the VegaAxis channel. Can you believe it? Anyhow, turns out the devil's daughter got into an altercation with these two, of course. Evelyn would get into a fight. No surprise there. But what I've realized is that sometimes these migrants get into little groups and they can dislike each other at times. But we could care less. All we want to know is where the hell are our taxpayer dollars going? And these two ladies seem to be doing very well. Needless to say, I'm a migrant who came through the Darien Gap with my 3 children. One of them has special needs. My friend also came through the Darien Gap with 2 children, and one of them has special needs. Both of our families received very nice hotel accommodations and healthcare attention as needed. But then we got into this drama with the devil's daughter, who told everyone that we were working as prostitutes on Roosevelt Avenue in New York City. Hey, this is all allegedly, and I did not say it. Evelyn is the one that said it. I'm just saying because a lot of these migrants are now being offended when they're featured on the VegaAxis channel. And some of them are saying that I'm lying on them. How am I lying when I'm literally reposting the videos you guys have on your Tick Trash pages? All of these videos are already available to the public. Hence, you are public property. Anyhow, my bestie and I are so happy that our children are doing better. So much so that we have plenty of time to do dancing videos, go to concerts, and nightclubs. And with all of this, you would think that I would be highly appreciative each and every single day. But instead, I think the housekeeping staff in this hotel are beast chess. Yep, beast chess, because they're snitching on me for having items that I'm not supposed to have in the taxpayer-funded hotel room. What a time to be alive. Let's get started. Okay, so let's get to the translation. I will try my best to tell you the story in a way where it makes sense. Apparently, something occurred this evening. The devil's daughter was clubbing, and so were Sophia and Jocelyn. Somehow, the devil's daughter was on stage. Now, why on earth would anyone put her on stage? That's a great question. But at least this DJ or whoever that is gave her the cold shoulder. Remember, a lot of these migrants go on social media to brag about what they are doing, how they are taking advantage of the system. They go viral. They get a lot of likes, a lot of followers, and they think they are super talented now. They believe they are stars. Then here we have a clip of the altercation between Sophia and Jocelyn with the devil's daughter. It seems like most of it was between Jocelyn and the devil's daughter. Isn't this lovely? That's what they came here for. Then there's this other angle from the same fight. Apparently, the devil's daughter was injured. As you can imagine, people on social media were mocking her, saying that she got busted open, and then she posted these clips saying that nothing happened to her, although she seemed pretty swelled up. She proceeded with this storytime video where she went to explain what occurred. So here she says, "Look, Jocelyn, don't pretend like you are such an angel. Most of those people on TikTok know that you guys are troublemakers. And TikTok people know that you posted a video making threats against me and whatnot. And this is me without a filter, okay? You can see I don't have any injuries on my face." And she's just teasing her and denying that she was hurt. She's saying, "You pretend you're like a virgin, like you're a saint, but you know that you are a troublemaker and you're always looking for men. This time you were not after my man, but when I met you in the bathroom that day, I pulled you to the side and I asked you about my man." So this is just stupidity, guys, okay? Just pure drama that we could care less about. I want to get to the part where she made the allegations. Here she says, "On that evening, you pulled my hair, I turned around, and you hit me with your phone on my forehead. And then you lied about you not having anything on your face. But we can all see that I stabbed you with a pair of scissors and you were bleeding." This is great because now we have this on the record. Additionally, she said, "And your friend Sophia admitted that I cut her hand." She says when Sophia showed her hand on a live stream, it was clear to everyone that she needed stitches on it. She says, "You know what the problem is with you girls? Is that you go to nightclubs to start trouble." And she says, "I didn't fight with my man for you, but what you girls do are looking around for men because you guys know what you do for a living." She's saying both of you know what is your line of work. You have events here in New York and you go out with other people's men. She proceeds to calling her out about the injuries, and she repeats it again, that she stabbed her right on the face. Imagine giving this person a temporary protection status. Then she says, "And you have more stab wounds on your head, but they're covered with your hair." So she repeats herself about not being injured. Technically, she's saying, "Hey, I beat you and I was not hurt." Then she says, "You can talk about me all you want. And sure, I'll give you some fame. And if I ever want to take your account down, I can, because no one knows you. People are now getting to know you because of me." Now, this claim is very interesting. You see, some of these migrants belong to certain groups in WhatsApp. And a lot of times, they may succeed because the algorithm on a platform like TikTrash is sensitive when an account or a video is being mass reported. So that's what she's talking about here. Anyway, so she says, "No one knows you. And those that know you is because you are working by Roosevelt Avenue." Then she says, "And on Roosevelt Ave is where you are like this, looking for the next you-know-what to put inside of you so that you can go ahead and feed yourself. Unlike me," she says, "I'm a housewife. I'm a true lady." Yeah, she did say that, guys. She continues, "I'm not making fun of you because I have a lot of friends that work on the streets, but they admit it. They do not deny it. Unlike you, who wants to pretend you're Virgin Mary." She says, "I'm so glad that I got both of you guys." Furthermore, she posted this photo, but what she doesn't understand is that eventually Immigration officials will be looking into all of these claims she made on social media. Let's see how impressed they're going to be. And here is Jocelyn's reply. She says, this message is for Virgin Mary, for the housewife, for the lady. Why do you care if I work or if I don't work, if I give it up or not? Is it yours? Maybe it is, she says. While you suffer, I'm having an amazing time. Look at that, guys. Not only did she not deny the accusations the devil's daughter made against her, but she went ahead and showed the cash. Moreover, she continues with the drama, right? I hate you, I didn't hate you, I touched your hair, all this bunch of stupidity. That's just a true waste of time. However, here she made some accusations against the devil's daughter herself. She says, instead of worrying about whether I give it up or not, what you should do is go get a job. Stop stealing luggages and clothing, and then you sell them in the shelter. See, go ahead and get a job so maybe you can rent a room somewhere. Stop worrying about my you-know-what. You should be focused on getting a room and stop worrying about our you-know-what. Okay, so that was Jocelyn's response. I couldn't find anything on Sophia replying to those claims, but at least you get an idea of what is going on here. And here's Jocelyn. She posted the videos of how she came through the border via the Darien Gap with her 2 children, once again trying to make this look cool. It is unclear if she came through a proper port of entry via the CBP One app or she crossed the border illegally. This is one of her daughters who received medical attention because of her special needs. Then here you have her second and oldest daughter who recently celebrated her birthday. Please remember that this family was nicely accommodated by you guys, the taxpayers, upon their entry to the United States. And if you don't believe me, well, here are various clips of her posing, lip syncing, dancing, and right inside one of those hotel rooms. I don't know what's your take on this, guys, but those seem to be some very nice looking shoes and clothing and lifestyle, if you will. But to be quite honest with you guys, for the devil's daughter to call her a prostitute, really? I don't see it, guys. I mean, I do not see it. Where? I'm trying to find any clues, but she seems pretty decent to me. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section, please. Maybe the next video? No, it looks pretty normal to me. Maybe the next one? Oh, okay, so here she is celebrating her 31st birthday, I think, yeah. Nope, still nothing. I would like to mention that as you get to her newer clips, you can see that it seems like she is no longer at a hotel. So perhaps she is renting her own room or small apartment. But if you're asking yourself, how can she afford to do so? Well, maybe that's a question you can ask the devil's daughter. And obviously, she would put on a Venezuelan t-shirt because, you know, Venezuela is so great and is helping her succeed in America. This is her and her bestie, Sophia. These videos are important because it confirms that they are indeed in New York City. Okay, now let's go over Sophia's story, the entitled Migrant, that is having such a difficult time right now with the housekeeping staff in the hotel. I can only imagine dealing with something like that. But first, I would like to make a quick correction. Earlier, I said that I was not able to find a video of Sophia replying to the devil's daughter's allegation. Well, in fact, I just did. And here she denied those allegations that she ever worked in Roosevelt Avenue. But then she went on to say that even if she did, it's not a big deal. It's a normal job, guys. Wow, thank you, Democrats, for bringing highly educated people over here. Furthermore, she went on to say that the devil's daughter, well, that she knew of the devil's daughter working in Roosevelt Avenue when she first arrived to the US. Well, go figure. So the devil's daughter has openly admitted to committing refugee fraud by taking advantage of the system. And then she has these new allegations against her from these two individuals where they claim she stole luggages and clothing and now even sold herself on Roosevelt Avenue. There's no doubt that she has worked hard to earn that nickname. And here is Sophia's story time of when she decided to come to America with her children. It was done through a series of pictures with captions like this one that says, "We were all smiles in Nicoclí, but we didn't know what was about to come. Here's the day." And then they were nervous, but had faith that everything was going to be okay. Remember that Nicoclí is somewhere in Colombia and is the area where a lot of these migrants depart from. Here she's sharing the pictures when they arrived at the encampment, and it was apparently the first day in the jungle. She says that she's thankful that her children are true warriors and that at some point she couldn't handle it anymore. This is when they arrived at the United Nations. Here you can see more tents, and then they eventually made it to Nicaragua. From there, they waited to depart to Honduras. She said she made it and that they gave her a safe conduct, so a document where she was able to leave the country. But for some reason, they were not able to move forward on that day, so they slept at the terminal. Then they purchased some clothes, and she was very tired. Subsequently, it was time to go to Guatemala. They arrived without any money on the weekend. She says we had to sleep in a tent that was full of people. Furthermore, she says that at this point, she couldn't do it anymore and that she was depressed and that she was regretting the decision of doing this. But then on that morning, a person with a good heart came by, and this person invited them to eat. Then it seems that this person gave them hotel accommodations. Meanwhile, they waited for more money to continue on this journey. Apparently, this person asked them every day which meals they wanted to eat. Then the date came where they had to advance. They got there late to get on the express, which departed around 5 a.m. So they had to stay in that terminal. Eventually, they made it to the border, now on the way towards Tapachula. Eventually, they made it to an area called Viva Mexico, and they had to wait for the bus to go to Tuxtla. She says that her baby only wanted to sleep on top of her. She continues to share how they arrived at these different towns where sometimes it would be too late for them to continue, and they had no other choice but to sleep in those terminals. Then at some point, her child needed medical attention, and eventually she became stable. From there, they proceeded towards Mexico City. She says, we got here without clothes, tired and hungry, but we were okay, thank God. She met with her uncle, who bought them some food. They made it to a shelter, and from there, a family member picked them up. Then her child was not feeling well again, and from there, she got better. Then she started working in Mexico. Upon receiving her first payment, she bought her kids some clothes and shoes. It seems like from there, they did some outings in Mexico with friends and family. Then there was that one time that she got drunk, and she puts the LOL emojis. So she says that she's thankful to those people in Mexico. From there, her and her children celebrated Halloween in Mexico City. But it was time to continue on this journey. They got to another shelter. She says we were extremely bored, and so we put makeup on. Then we went food shopping, and it started to get cold. I was very depressed and crying all the time. Then it was her daughter's birthday, and they were trying to celebrate it the best they could. But then we got notified that we had to be at the bridge at 6 a.m., and it was the happiest day of our lives. Indeed, it was the best birthday gift for my daughter. She couldn't believe it, and we were there waiting in line. But immigration took us to this waiting area, and finally the day came. You can see them entering the United States, and here she says, "We did it. Thank God." From here, they took us to a church while we waited for the bus. Her daughter was in shock and very emotional. It was time for us to go to sleep. My other daughter knew that we were going to New York, and she was very happy. Here you can see them on the way, and then here she says that this was our first experience eating in America. Then we got to New York, and we were in our hotel room. My daughter was happy. So that was the journey. It seems like Sophia is around 27 years old. Moreover, here she shares with us how her daughter seemed to be malnutritioned, and from there, she got much better here in the United States. At first, they thought she was okay, and something happened to her where she just couldn't function properly, and she needed medical attention. Then here she gives us a little bit of more details. Apparently the daughter needed medical attention ASAP, and it was a whole process. You can see that Sophia was having a difficult time with this, and the daughter was indeed getting this attention that was needed. And there are more pictures, more videos of how the child was getting these medical treatments, and it seems like she was getting better and better little by little. It is worth to mention that Sophia has been here probably for about a year, maybe a little bit over a year. And so she's sharing all of these pictures in a chronological order. Needless to say, Sophia's daughter looks like she is doing much better than when she entered the country. Here she continues to share more pictures and more videos about her love and deep connection to her daughter. Here you can see her and her children having fun in the hotel. But then it is time for Sophia to have some fun herself. And there it is, the usual bathroom videos. We couldn't go without posting those, right? Then here she is having some fun with her lovely friend. Sophia is not holding back. She's trying her best to have a good time here in the United States. She never mentioned that it was the CBP1 app, but since she said that the appointment was at 6 a.m., I believe that that was due to the organization called Doctors Without Borders, who assist people with medical needs and are able to get them appointments at the border. But since she came towards the end of 2023, she does not qualify for TPS. And so that means she is an asylum seeker. I repeat, she either came through the CBP1 app or via the Doctors Without Borders organization. Nevertheless, here she is live streaming from her hotel room. She says that at some point her daughter lost all of her functions, and then when she got here to America, her daughter was malnutritioned. We got here to New York around November 23rd of last year. And then on December 1st, my daughter was hospitalized. She says that when she goes to visit her daughter in the hospital, she leaves her children in the hotel and she orders food for them, and that they are extremely happy watching TV and on their phones or tablets, etc. Someone asked her, "Where are you working?" And she says, "Right now, I'm not working right now. But I have a friend named Chichi," she says, "and she works at a bar, and maybe I'll be working there soon. But I'm unsure because I don't like it. I'm not saying that I'm a saint, because I'm not. I'm bad. I'm really bad. But I don't know. I never worked at a bar before, so I'm a little bit scared about it." I don't think I have the potential to work there. But yes, my friend Chichi works at a bar by 90th Street. She tells me that she's doing well, but since I've never done it, I don't know. I feel weird about it. She says these bars are like where women are paid to, how can I explain it? So us women have to make the guys pay for a lot of drinks. So as long as the men buy more drinks, then we get paid more. Then she says, but I'm being helped. So that's why I'm relaxed. I have a guy that's in love with me, she says. He is in Miami. And all I tell him is, I need this, and he sends it to me. Maggot, let me tell you, he sends me money. That's why we are not going through a difficult time right now. We don't need anything. Like, we are doing okay. And sometimes I make things work for us too, she says. I'm waiting for my little baby to be switched to another place, from the hospital to a rehabilitation center. When that happens, then yes, I could start working, because then she'll be where I want her to be. When she is in rehab, then I know they'll be doing her therapies and massages, and she'll get everything she needs. She confirms and says, right now I am living in a hotel. Before, I was living with Jocelyn. Around that time, my daughter needed a tracheostomy tube, and at some point, she was doing better. They were going to give her to me, but they said that the hotel room did not have sufficient power for her medical needs. That is why they were not able to bring my daughter to the hotel room. So I had no other choice but to come back to my hotel room, because here, everything was set up. I was going to get a nurse. I was going to get all the help I needed with my child. But at the end, my baby's health got complicated and I couldn't receive her here in the hotel room. She says, anyway, Jocelyn had to eventually move, and that's where she's living right now, at another place. But I was advised to come here because I was going to be getting more assistance. So that's why I stopped living with Jocelyn and came here around April, because supposedly my daughter was going to be released from the hospital around that time, and I was excited, buying things for her, but they never gave her to me. I have a social worker that is helping me a lot. She helped me with apartment applications and with many other applications. She is truly of great assistance for me and for my daughter. That is why I am trying to wake up, because I don't want to move. Then they tell me that here, the power is not sufficient for my baby's medical needs. They connect her to a portable machine, then that might work. So I will ask them about that, because I want to have her here for Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. And then I can return her to the hospital. The social worker helped me apply for an apartment. I'm just waiting for them to call me so that I can bring all of the documentation I need to live at an apartment. And I have all the reasons to be able to get this apartment. But now with this situation that Donald Trump won the presidency, we don't know what's going to happen. I'm concerned, and I can't stop thinking about it. We have work permits, we have Social Security, and I applied for asylum. Yeah, maggot, I applied for asylum. And let me tell you, I didn't even really apply for it until my social worker told me to, because I was not even paying attention to that. The social worker was behind me, pushing me to do it. She was saying, do it because of your daughter, your little baby girl. And that's how I went about it. I applied for the asylum. But at the time, I hadn't done it yet. But she was Very persistent. She said, you never know. Applied for it. And well, I did apply for asylum 5 days before the deadline. I was even told to submit an application for my children to receive a juvenile visa. Then here she says, right now I'm cleaning because tomorrow these bees will probably come by, the ones that clean, and they are mean. I don't like them to clean my room because sometimes I cook here and I don't want them to come inside. So I try my best to keep everything clean so they don't do anything, so they don't start snitching on me. Oh yeah, guys, she did say it. In fact, I'm going to play it in Spanish just for confirmation purposes.
Estoy medio limpiando porque mañana capaz y vengan las perras esas que limpian, son más groseras y odiosas. No me gusta que ellas se metan a limpiarme el cuarto porque como yo a veces cocino aquí escondida, no me gusta que se metan. Y trato de tener todo limpio para que ellas no hagan nada y no anden sapeando.
She says the person that helped me submit the asylum application will be contacting me with more information. So people are asking her, how do you get all of this help? She says, remember, I'm in New York. So here you get a lot of assistance with all of these documentations. But in other states, you do have to pay. Someone asked about the juvenile visa, and she says, that's for the kids. It's a visa that can assist them to eventually get their citizenship. That's what I've been told. Then eventually the kids can travel outside of the country, she says. Not for us, the adults, but hey, we'll try to do it anyway. She says this is a process that you can do with a lawyer about the juvenile visa. So that's what I suggest you to do. But I've been told that your kids have to be living with at least one parent. So a single parent. And I'm with the three of them by myself here in the hotel room. She says I'm being helped with this asylum application process, and it is a strong one. She says when I was near the border in Mexico, I saw this doctor who gave me a letter. It was like a document, and he told me to give it to immigration officials when seeking asylum. Someone in the comment section is saying that they have to move, and then she says, well, my friend Jocelyn has to move too. And then she says, you guys, look how long it took me to do my eyelashes, like an hour, because I'm here reading the comments and talking to you guys. Someone in the comment section said that they are on the way to New York. And then she says, well, maybe you'll end up here. In the meantime, they find you a spot or a place. She says, no one can get me out of here, maggot. I applied again, and well, never mind. I did not apply again. I just applied for an extension because of my little baby, and they gave me until February. But I didn't ask for that additional extension, she says. The shelter was supposed to be expired around October 9th. And they told me that the extension would be until December. From there, I did not apply for any other extensions. But today they came and they told me that I have an additional extension until February. Someone asked her about the baby, and she says she's doing very well right now. She is in a home where they give long-term care to these kids. Then on another subject, she says, Jocelyn says that I get drunk fast, but I don't. I really don't. In fact, that evening of the fight, from there we went to another spot. And then from there, we left around 10 p.m. And from there, we went to eat. Then we went to Jocelyn's place. We are tough to be able to go to sleep, let me tell you. They asked her about the baby again, and she says, well, technically, she's not really hospitalized right now. She's just being cared for by a nurse. They take care of her over there. I do not bring her here. She remains in that hospital. She says, today, I spent the whole day sleeping. I woke up and I started watching some series. Then I started to cry. Then I went to sleep again. And then I woke up and started to cry again. And then Jocelyn went on a live stream, and that's when I joined. And I've been live streaming ever since. And here she is with her bestie Jocelyn with this meme that says, take a guess of who is returning to Venezuela. That is all she wrote. Now, I've heard about this juvenile visa before. It's something that a lot of these migrants are looking into right now, and some lawyers are advising them to apply for. Apparently, this is for children who have been abused, neglected, or abandoned by their parents. But in some cases, they can apply with a single parent. So the Trump administration should look into these juvenile visas or the requirements to see what the hell is going on with that. Because these lawyers know all the loopholes, and then they relay that information to the migrants in America, who then go on social media to broadcast it to all of the prospect migrants outside of the US. But what is your take on all of this? Her daughter is doing much better now, but she has the time to party, to do live streams, to get depressed, insult the housekeeping staff from her taxpayer-funded hotel room. It's just truly remarkable. By the same token, she was not worried about applying for asylum, but then she said that her asylum case is really strong. Well, if I was persecuted in my country and I arrived to another country, the first thing I would do is apply for asylum just to be safe. But she waited until the last minute. She told us that it was the social worker who pressured her into applying 5 days before the expiration date. Not to mention all of the countries that she traveled, which includes Mexico, where she actually worked. Then she says that they don't need anything because her man from the state of Florida sends her money whenever she wants. But she got her documentation ready to apply for apartments, medical care, hotel accommodations. I mean, she knows all the loopholes. She knows where to go. January 20th couldn't come fast enough. Needless to say, the entitlement mentality that this one has is on another level. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do not forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The shoutouts from my amazing supporters are down below. You are greatly appreciated. I'll see you guys next time.